Did you know that avoidant people play specific games when they're about to break up with you? I don't mean that they're toying with you. It's not about being cruel, not in most cases, but there's a specific set of dances that play out when an avoidant partner is about to pull the plug on your relationship. I'm Adam Lane Smith, the attachment specialist, and I'm basing this video on over 10 years of working with avoidant people and helping them recognize their own relationship patterns. I help many of them stop playing these specific games because they're so hurtful to everybody who's involved. Now, I have helped prevent hundreds of breakups at least over the last 10 years, okay? And I can help you prevent yours as well. Please watch this video through to the end so that we can protect your relationship. For those who are new to this channel, welcome. I am glad you're here. You might be a new supporting member from one of my live streams. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next live stream. You're joining us at the perfect time because I'm going to teach you how to spot the end coming in advance. When an avoidant person is about to shut down the connection, they do one or more of these things in this video. At the end of this video, I've also got a special offer for a very important resource that can help protect your relationship with an avoidant man, or if you are an avoidant man, can show you how to start building real lasting fulfillment in relationships for yourself. You ever have that problem where you fall out of love with everybody at 5 months and it can't come back ever? I can show you how to fix that. Watch to the end of this video. For now, let's go through these signs and see what might be already happening in your relationship. The first game that I've seen a lot of avoidant people play is the disappearing act. They gradually become less and less and less and less available. Fewer texts, longer gaps between texts, fewer calls. Hey, baby, I'm sorry, I'm real busy. Canceled plans. Oh, it's just so hard. Oh, it's just big tough. Oh, I'm really sorry, right? And using work, hobbies, social obligations, all of these are excuses for distance. It makes you feel like you're nagging them for their attention. It makes you feel like something's wrong with you, where other people don't want to be around you, and they start to really become more and more distant. It's plausible deniability. This is somebody avoiding the conflict of saying, hey, it's not a good match. Hey, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Hey, my independence is being threatened. Hey, I don't know how to deal with our relationship. Hey, I'm really stressed, and adding the stress of a relationship on top of that is making me overwhelmed. So I'm just focusing over here. Sometimes it really is work, but it's more than that, if you know what I mean. This can really, really get worse as time goes on because they fall into a loop of avoiding and feeling better, avoiding and feeling better. They avoid, they get a blast of dopamine, it feels good, so then they get rewarded for avoiding. The benefit this serves to them is that they don't have to go into open conflict with you at any point. They always have plausible deniability and then more and more and more independence. So they're trying desperately to vent their cortisol and restore dopamine alone, sometimes in their room in the dark, whatever it might be, but they're doing it away from you. They don't know how to bond with you, how to refresh with you, or they don't know how to tell you that it's not a good match. This is a game that helps them prevent any open conflict. That's what this is about. The next game I've seen a lot of avoidant people play is the passive-aggressive provoke. They make subtle digs and criticisms that chip away at your self-esteem. Just little things, and oh, you know, I was joking. Oh, you know, hey, don't take it serious. Oh, it's not a big deal. Little chips. Hey, you remember, I remember when we used to do that. Oh, yeah, no, it's funny. Little things, right? Little jokes that plausible deniability could be a joke, but it hurts just a little bit. And then they laugh at you and poke at you again for taking it too seriously and having hurt feelings. They're hoping that you'll initiate the breakup over time, taking the blame off of themselves. They're driving you away by telling you things they don't like, or they're trying to provoke you into doing the things that they like, which is really just painful manipulation. But really, usually it's them shoving you out, trying to get what they want without letting you in any deeper. They're leaving you feeling confused and questioning the relationship health after every interaction, and eventually this will usually lead to a breakup because you feel chipped away, poked, prodded, disrespected, unloved, and it starts to feel like the relationship has no value anymore, or that you have no value anymore. That's also a side effect. This happens, again, because they don't know how to just tell you that they're not happy. They don't know how to just tell you that they want to have a discussion about a problem. They don't think that solving a problem is possible. They think that if they come and conversate with you about it, you're going to blow up, attack them. They're going to be the bad guy. So it's better just to poke and prod and hurt you from the side angles. This is a very manipulative, avoidant tactic. Most people won't do this one, but the ones who do, it is incredibly painful and hurtful. So beware of this. If you start experiencing this, it's not just you and you're not just being sensitive. Really stop and have a conversation. Push for a conversation. And if they won't have one, that's a pretty clear indicator. The third game I've seen a lot of is the accidental sabotage. They might unintentionally, or perhaps intentionally, usually intentionally, sabotage the relationship. They might become unreliable, flake on plans, pick fights with you over trivial matters. And sometimes it's a little unconscious. A lot of times it's conscious. And they're angry and frustrated on the inside, so they start fights with you and do things that will lead to major problems. This constant negativity can erode trust and make the relationship feel unsustainable. Now what benefit does this serve? Again, many of them don't have the guts to tell you that they're not happy or just initiate a breakup, so they're going to vent their frustration at you. They're feeling cortisol. Now they blame you for them feeling cortisol. The cortisol is stress and pain in their brain. It's your fault that they are in pain. This is what they're thinking. So now they're going to inflict pain on you. If you inflict enough pain on each other, one of you will break and initiate the breakup. Now they can go back out into the world guilt-free and binge dopamine with the next person. This usually happens after the first 5 months of novelty dopamine, when they're starting to not get anything left and they're miserable and frustrated at you and feel trapped in a relationship they shouldn't have agreed to. Very common for this to happen at that point. Another problem is the self-sacrificing gambit. This game, I hate it with all of my heart. Avoidant people might present themselves as the unworthy partner, pushing you away out of a distorted sense of self-preservation. They want to feel safe, but they start to say they're not good enough for you, or they don't deserve you, or they can't meet your needs, or they don't have what you need, or they can't give you what you want. And it turns into, I'm going to break us up for your sake. It becomes about you. Now this, not always is this really actually a manipulation. Many times they're misunderstanding what you need, but a lot of them will use this tactic to try to push you out with a minimum of fuss so that you will say, well, okay, I guess if that's how you feel, then I thank you for being a nice person. They imagine that's how it's going to go, but it devastates you because you feel abandoned and rejected by someone who's now telling you that you're too much. Right? The benefit this serves is they get to look and feel good and try to minimize conflict by making it your fault that you have to break up. You have needs. I'm not good enough for you. Therefore, you should be free to go date the Olympian gods as you are, where I will simply sit here in the mud, and that's my place in the world. This is a game. Okay. It is avoiding actual responsibility and actual conversation. Again, some of them might actually believe it and really think that you need too much, and they think that there's something off or they can't give you the emotional intimacy. That can happen. But by and large, this is a ducking of responsibility in the relationship. The last game I've seen, and it's an awful one, is the stonewalling strategy. Avoidance might become fully emotionally unresponsive, shut down communication entirely. They might just withdraw from conversations with you over and over, avoid eye contact, give short dismissive answers, just freeze you out for days or weeks, even months. It's borderline silent treatment, and it can be incredibly frustrating and make you feel unheard, unloved, and potentially push you to break things off, which is kind of what they're angling for because they've had enough. Many times, they don't know what to do, and they just feel angry and overwhelmed and resentful that they're not getting the dopamine anymore. That novelty dopamine of 5 months, at 5 months it stops, at 7 months they're starving, at 9 months they're frustrated, at 11 months they're angry, many times, and they start using this game to just freeze you out because they think you're demanding everything of them without ever giving them anything in return. You might be giving them everything, and they don't see it. The benefit here, they get to freeze you out and avoid having any feelings or any intimacy or any complications or any responsibility. All of these games are about avoiding responsibility and making you be the one to break up so that they don't have to feel bad later and don't have to deal with consequences. Now, all of these games, okay, they all stem from a fear of intimacy, a desire for control, the inability to have difficult conversations, the need for you to take the blame so that they can feel safe on the back end. Hey, I have full plausible deniability. I'm the CIA. No one can pin anything on me. So these are red flags. If you see these games happening, anything like them, be aware that these are red flags. So if you're seeing some of these right now, you need to take a couple of steps. 2 steps, in fact. First, learn everything that you can about avoidant attachment so you can see things through their eyes and have a clear conversation with them about, hey, I've noticed X pattern in our behaviors. Tell me about that. If you can sit down and have a conversation with them and say, hey, you know what? I've noticed this. Can you just tell me more? Hey, I've noticed that sometimes you make these side jokes at me or comments about how you're not happy, and then you brush them off, but it seems like you're really not happy. And just to be clear, I'm not mad. I would like to help you be happy. So if we can just talk about how to help you be happy, we can do it. Can we have that conversation? Being able to understand everything about their patterns is incredibly important. You have to be able to do that or you won't understand what they're doing or why. This can fix the issue if they're a reasonable person and lead back to more bonding together. So the growth in avoidant partners is absolutely possible, you guys. With 25% of the population right now experiencing avoidant attachment, there are many good, wonderful, reasonable people who can help, okay? And they can get better. The Avoidant Man video course that I offer, How to Love an Avoidant Man, it offers a tremendous amount of information in there that you can move forward into the relationship in a better way. And that's the second piece, is to avoid all of these from happening. You have to understand and have those conversations, then you have to grow together. Because if you're reaching a place where these behaviors are happening and the avoidance is that bad, to avoid a breakup from these games, the second thing you have to do is help that avoidant person grow and change their behaviors so the relationship can hold together long term. It's not your responsibility as their partner, but if you want the relationship to work, the two of you should be working together to build a healthy, secure relationship. The avoidant person can't build a secure relationship on their own, so putting all of that on them makes no sense. This is something you'll have to build together as a couple if you want it to work. So just to be clear, if you have a moment of a good conversation and the games disappear temporarily, that doesn't mean that you've saved the relationship. The problems haven't disappeared until you've resolved the underlying attachment issues and built secure attachment. Make sure that you are both doing the work that's going to make your relationship stable and sustainable. That course that I mentioned, the How to Love an Avoidant Man video course, that will help with this. If you use the link down in the description below and use code YouTube25, you can take 25% off the How to Love an Avoidant Man video course right now. Make sure you pick up your copy. Now, I know that facing these games can feel confusing and overwhelming, especially if you're bonded deeply to your partner. And I hope that you are. But many times these games come right after an amazing time together, like a big vacation or a passionate weekend, which confuses you because things were going really well. In fact, it can be a deeper emotional intimacy, which drives the partner to think they need to separate from you because they're freaking out. And those great times can lead into these games as they don't see an alternative to breaking up. Many couples who take that Avoidant Man video course together finally discover the answer to their fears and their worries so they can enjoy extended emotional bonding without that horrible freak out period afterward. So make sure you check out that course and get your copy today so you don't face these breakup games. I'm Adam Lane Smith, the attachment specialist. I have been helping couples build better relationships for well over 10 years now, and I'm happy to be here helping you. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Drop some comments below if you have questions. I am here to assist, and I'll see you in that course.